Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of beautiful silly season racing league racing. And we are heading to the race that was hosted yesterday in the real world. And today it's going to be the virtual Miami Grand Prix from round 15 out of 16 for this fifth season with a mandatory two-stop racing rule applied where drivers have to stop at least twice. Otherwise, they will get a hefty penalty. This is our race calendar, and we are almost at the conclusion of it with next week a full qualifying segment for Silverstone as it's our finale. And we're looking at the track map of the Miami International Autodrome, which, quite frankly, will be here for a while. 2041. I will be 42 by that. It's gonna be on the calendar, and I hope they make changes in that time. Abu Dhabi came on in 09, and they made changes to it in 2021 for the first time. So if my math serves me correct, that has to be 12 years. That is correct, 12 years. I don't know why that took so long. I hope the drivers don't take that long tonight. Honestly, there need to be things that need to change. Even the kind of interesting wet weather dynamic in the sprint is going to be not enough for this racetrack. And people have discussed it at length over the weekend, but this is what we have to work for. And the league racing, it's kind of decent, I have to say. Tricky challenge inside the first sector, and obviously the chicane. And the sectors are also very interestingly split. You can say that the first one is requiring the most downforce, but even if you see people go blistering fast in sector 2 or 3, you can't really tell if it's all the exits or really the top speed, because two of the sectors have at least one long DS straight. And we're gonna be calling that one that is at the bottom of your screen in sector 2 the main straight for tonight, and the other one is the back straight. Looks like it's on the back anyway, if you get what I mean, especially since it's behind the highway intersection kind of thing, so feels like a back alley anyway. And yeah, it's the racetrack will be having tonight with 19 corners, and I'm probably sure I will follow suit in Alex Jake's shoes, as I will be calling the last turn for turn 17, which is not the case, but bear with me, okay? It's very inviting to say that. We are looking at the result from last time out, as the session is now, I think, readying up very soon. And Vincenzo is also missing still, so that's good. That we have some time. And he clinched his title for Division 1 in a spectacular win. That was very closely thought out with him and Moksha, who helped himself helped himself into another championship fight with Moksha's teammate, as well himself long secured the championship for the constructors. Andrew on a return from 19th on the grid to P3. Amazing drive, and he even did a third stop combo, which I unfortunately called Chambo. I'm sorry for that. Didn't know there were other combinations. If you know what I mean. Out there, Race Chase, good race. Rush had a collision with Fedderson, who's in 8th. They were split by Quincy with a good race. Andrew in 9th, Krankjov on his home race, very solid. Also qualifying wasn't too bad with 12 on the grid. Rowley, Kovashka, Jonathan, Verdugo, Kwan, Servo, Big Bruiser, and Energetic. Yeah, he had a shocking race with permanent damage to his rear wing. And we had multiple drivers not making it in a qualifying, which was very interesting. Session is already going on, so I need to be hurrying up this. Andy is done, and we have an interesting internal Williams championship to fight out. And Moksha is down by 22 points, as you can see, so Fallison needs to outscore him by at least 5. or more to close it out tonight, since there are only 26 points available in the last race. Quincy in 4th, very strong. Andrew not ahead of him makes him jump up the order even more. Race is close to him now, so Quincy is going to be securing a consistent, maybe not a very fast, but a consistent P4. Rush up into the top 10. Rowley as a reserve, very good on points. Kovachka, energetic down now, was fighting with Andrew and Quincy a couple of races ago. David, who wasn't on the regular. Then it's Krankirk, Jonathan Kwan, top 15. Then Veriduko, Takengino, another full-time driver, is Vincenzo as Andrew jumps up the order by 9 positions. And we have Sir Ibo as well as Combo up into the top 30. And the next is going to be the constructors. It's all said and done at the top. And Ferrari have even pulled away. Maybe McLaren can find something. Let's see. But it's honestly McLaren v Red Bull v Aston Martin, and down it's Sauber against Alpine against Racing Bulls. Fortunately, I don't think Haas is going to be scoring triple digits for this season. So yeah, that's all in all the end to it for the Constructors' Championship. And we will be heading into what is our race session. And that is the wrong tab. That is not up to date. Give me a sec. There we are. Okay, we have 20 drivers, as the first one has already been it. Or has retired in the pits, no idea why. But our newest recruit seems to be not enjoying qualifying. Let's see what that means for his race. First 5 minutes are already gone by, and the Mercedes of Andy is almost 4 tenths up, as Pedersen and Moksha are closely matched within the first top 3, and Control, who's is here tonight. So who's missing? Takangino's not racing. Okay, that's a late change to the plans. Also, David is up there already. 3 on a 0.6. Race chase Andrew. Yeah, let's see. Okay, we are watching Jonathan in the back. Or maybe Vincenzo. Oh, Quincy's just starting at them. Okay, let's stay with Jonathan on his first attempt. Let's talk teams. Andy and Krankjok are here, so that's your Mercedes team. We have Vincenzo and for Ferrari main competitor Quincy. Red Bull has Danger David, and as of a couple of races, Bruiser, Jonathan, and as you can see, Brams is gonna be having his rookie reserve rookie debut, basically. Andrew and Krankjor and Control. Control is taking Takagino's spot, so that is a reserve driver for you there. Energetic and Seibo for Vika. Kovachka, and still officially a reserve driver race chase, but he has been scoring good points, so that is obviously something nice to see for that team, as they've stayed within a fight for P7. Then we have Veriduko and ADS. ADS joined late, maybe had the opportunity to score some more points, but didn't have a good race in the Netherlands because he underfueled his car. Williams is obviously powered by Moksha and Fellerson, as we've seen at the top. And then I'm told we have Alpine with GR1 as Quincy goes to 10th. Yeah, GR1 is a reserve as well. And Rendog, which is a kind of funny combination of an English and a... What? No way. Fellerson goes to the top, but isn't actually at the top because Andy set the fastest time first. Not a single digit could separate them here, as Fellerson has already completed his second attempt and is close to Andy, as ADS has crashed it here inside of the Middle of the sector. Let's see, right hand side at the exit, where the starting point of this very interesting lift is, that goes 500 meters next to the track and doesn't really do anything on this very interesting car park. There's not much love for this one. Thing I wanted to allude on was Rendog having his rookie reserve debut as well. He's a rookie and there's a reserve because of that. And Moksha has already completed the second attempt, it looks like. Or is that a second attempt? Fuel is on. Is good for the end of the lap, but it's not using any ERS, so I guess not. I have never seen this one before. Fallison was gifted given the fastest lap according to the session. Or by the session, basically, by the in-game race director. And then he isn't in front, and Andy, as the first guy, doesn't have a purple time. Never have I seen this ever before. GR1 has been competing for McLaren in Jeddah, who had a good race there. Better qualifying the race, you have to say. Is back at it again. Was previously running in the championship that was no stabilizers allowed. As also Control and Danger David are onto the track once again. We are into the last minutes. And Andy is pushing it in the second sector. Let's see how much he has still or can still find. Is now the Aston Martin of someone ahead, but doesn't really block by anything. 5,000 of a second is enough to make an improvement that would put him a bit more separate from what is currently Fallison in second. And GR1 has abandoned his lap, as there are rumors for Jack Doohan to be... That's a late call. That is a very late call. Don't do that in a race, please. Although I don't know if you still care. And Danger David is up by almost 4.5 tenths. And that would be another driver to jump up the order, and Control is right behind them on the lap. And he invalidated that. Going wide. Or did he? Where did he do it? Yeah, he ran wide at the exit of what is, I think, 14th? No, 13th. Okay, let's see. Control was up by 6 tenths of a second, so that puts him right up there and could promote him to provisional pole position on a race where Aston Martin was nowhere, but let's see. And he does in fact do so. Is into the 1 minute 25s. Let's see who else is lining up laps here. More and more drivers getting out there, preparing laps. Have Ibo on a slower in-lap. Who's crossing the line first? So many drivers behind each other then. There might be a bit of traffic for Fallison here, as Duco is ahead of him. That wasn't really nicely timed by Williams. Oh, well, for Fallison as of right now. So Duco currently roughly a tenth ahead of Bruiser, as Jonathan has crashed it. There's a multiple car crash inside of the first sector. And Race Chase is also involved in this. And Vincenzo is out as well. Jonathan and Vincenzo have crashed together with what seems to be Race Chase. And that was all the kerfuffle I was talking about. Drivers being way too close, and some of them didn't seem to be on fast laps anyway. That is gonna hurt them. The Redugo is gonna find a huge improvement in terms of his time. But I'm not sure if it will be enough, as his team is racing on home soil and he is into P14, 3 seconds up. Very lovely improvement. And Quincy starting off his lap. Let's see where Fallison can put it. He puts it into the pits and completes the lap. And that is, I think, Bruiser starting another one. And that is Moksha, 5 minutes till to the end. On a next attempt, he only found 1/10 and he used way too early the ERS up on his car. Who is that? Is that an Alpine? Rendog. 15th. Didn't improve. Let's go to his teammate. Alpine only having 2 reserves for tonight. He goes to 2nd on the grid! Oh my word! Let's fucking go! What a lap. Andrew is abandoning as well as Control, who was out there. Here's Andy responds. 4 minutes to go. How much did he find? He found half a second, like he usually does. Andy on top again by 2/10. Seems like none of these drivers behind are currently matching him. And there's Quincy over the line. No, he lost his wing. He was also involved in the kerfuffle, I think. David outlap. That's Bruiser then. Jumps to P18. Found 2 seconds and is past Ibo. Also race chase. At an invalidation. So we are going to an onboard lap with the championship contender of season 4 for Division 1, and that's going to be Danger David. The Scotsman has won inside of this current 5th season, and that was in Division 2. Had some good races been taken away from him. We are into the end of the first sector with this left-right, left high-speed chicane. You can probably refer to it as, and then this inverted, slow double apex left and side turn that is very reminiscent of what you can see in the 3rd sector of France at the Circuit Paul Ricard. One of the best overtaking opportunities into turn 11, which also saw Norris and Verstappen brawl it out. Turn 13, stay close to the apex, then run this extremely high curb chicane, and he has found half a second himself. He's going to be using some of that slipstream from his teammate, but there's nothing really there for him to find. Dodges his car as well. Verdugo has crashed it as well. Both cars with some repair jobs to do. And there's little on his ERS left, so he might be using it up too early. Nice traction out of these last 2 corners, and he jumps up the order into what is now P5, 2 thousandths of a second behind. And you can see that GR1 is not going again, and sideways goes Rendog. Way too hot into turn 1, and he is gonna be out here anyway. Seems like GR1 retired on track. Control is out there on an outlap, And yeah, we are awaiting all of them to go to the flag and complete their final runs. I'm actually thinking that Andrew is here ahead, yeah. Still a strong qualifying from ADS. Currently puts him in 10th position. 2 drivers behind him, only needing a couple of hundreds, which can easily be found. Andy is through, will not compete for another lap time. Fellison is through as well, and will stay ahead of Danger David and in the second row as the Aston Martin mounts the curb here, and Crankyock has spun it. And there is 9/10 of an improvement from Andrew. And that is currently... Oh, he's currently 9/10 down on next position anyway. There's the split. Almost a complete lockup by the Romanian. What did he find in terms of time over the line now? Jumps to 1.1 seconds. Energetic beats him. Also 26.1. Quincy 26.9. Huge improvement in the latter stages here by Andrew. And Energetic. What can Control do? 2/10 he needs to be finding. He did find 2/10, but it wasn't enough. And that is Moksha over the line as well. Stays with the 26.5. And is in a different league to Fellison for tonight's internal showdown of the Williams pair, as barely anything has changed in the bottom half. Also, Ibo did not beat Bruiser. And that's it. Control got so close. 83 hundredths of a second, and that is very tight. And 4 people are on a 0.1 with a, I have to say, a very unorthodox order compared to what we have seen inside of this season, with Energetic and GR1 being ahead of Felsen and Danger David. So they're gonna be spoiling the party. And the further down they are, the harder it is for Fellison to outscore Moksha by 5 points, even if it's inside the top 7. But we will see, I suppose. Andy, and then it's Control close to him. Would have been lovely to see him race for the full season. And then it's quite the group here from 3rd to 6th. Then Moksha, Andrew, Race Chase, Quincy, and then a second of a gap to ADS, Kovačka, Vincenzo, Crankov, Veroduko, Rendog, Jonathan, Bruiser, and Brams, who didn't even attempt a fly here, it seems. And we are awaiting a start in 3 minutes time, which I'm going to be using for something. And that is going to be a break. Right, I'll be right back. And we are back to await the start of the penultimate race of the season. Remembering that this is a mandatory 2-stop race, even with weather changes. I have to say, we are quite far out here. Can't see the Mercedes or the Red Bull garages. Only the spare front wing. And there are the 5 red lights. Control against Andy for the dive into turn 1 as the field heads away. It's a good start by the top 2. And GR1 is looking around the outside. Controls the inside line that turns to the outside now for turn 2. And Andy stays ahead for a brief moment. I was very tight, and Fellowson is already looking at alternative racing lines to fight against Energetic. Around the outside, Energetic is leaving him the space despite him completely having the inside line, and that opens also the gap for Moksha, the teammate, and he is now fighting with his mate and rival, and David has to say something about this as well. They're about to go 4 wide if this slipstreaming down the main straight into turn 11 is going to continue like this. The is going to be available from this part of the racetrack as soon as we hit turn the second lap, and there was damage to I don't know who. Control has lost his front right end plate, dives to the inside of Andy, hits him, and now he's gone backwards as GR1 has more traction. Quick look at the tires, only GR1, ADS Krankjork, Bruiser and Rendog have decided for the soft tire, as there's already a 3-second time penalty for Brams, who's down the order. Control fighting Energetic, who's looking at his next podium inside of this season. Has scored... Oh no, that was the second division, sorry. Hasn't scored anything here, but was 4th then. And I think that was Hungary. David looking to the inside of Energetic as he is hesitant to take control of his position. And there are lots and lots of moves going on. Quincy is fighting Andrew for what is effectively best of the rest of Fellowson, and Moksha have settled in. And Fellowson on his 3rd race of the season for the PC that he's now owning. And GR1 is the only one who isn't allowed to activate DRS inside of this front row group, and that is now being confirmed by Control using it. Is he close enough? He is slipstreaming him, but not the whole way. Is there going to be a dive? Energetic is quite late on the brakes, but David is even later, and he makes that move. It's an opportunity for Fellowson as well. Oversteer moment by David, and it gets also close, and there's a touch by Fellowson, and he makes a move. Not stick at all, and now Moksha's through, and they're fighting side by side with Energetic. Now Quincy is in this as well. Moksha, who seemed to be benefiting off his teammate's mistake, is now down the orders. Quincy's up to 5th now. What a move by the Ferrari driver. He has seen all of them go by as he's now applying the brakes for what is turn 17 as he slots in behind David. What a couple of corners by the young Englishman as they now continue to fight Fellowson into the pit lane as expected. Huge damage in terms of his front wing and downforce levels as David is being absolutely defensive on the inside, just like we saw Max Verstappen do. As GR1 has taken control back before turn 4. Let's see what's up with Andrew and ADS. He's looking feisty on the inside, needs to be given some space. But the right-hand side turn is naturally moving towards the Aston Martin as Quincy and Moksha fight it out. David has no DS. And I think both of them will be having some. Oh, don't turn into the right-hand side whereas they can't near to you. Control gets GR1 back. David has gone himself out of the window here. And Moksha and Andrew seem to be passing Quincy there. Gonna be turning on the S to see how that happened. Huge ERS benefit here for both Andrew and Moksha. And that's the biggest opportunity Moksha has now. He needs to be converting this race as well into at least a podium finish. Currently out of position is only GR1. He will be stopping very soon. Can't imagine the softs go very long. And he kind of needs the group now to stop fighting and follow David. And he's inside of the ears of the Scotsman now as they make their way into what is now lap 4 with GR1 still behind, and Andy has checked out, but he wasn't really gonna be on our radar for tonight, as everyone else has still fights to go by. Control is still in a good position despite him having the wing damage to his right hand side end plate. It's a track with an anti-clockwise rotation, so you go more to the left, then you go to the right. GR1 is making that braking stick, and David is closing in on them. And that fighting is obviously going to be hurting them. DS zone. There's the DS detection point. He's gotten it. As there's been a wrong button. Spin by the Bams. GR1 being slipstreamed by Control, and David is helping himself defend from Moksha, though as there's no imminent attack by the German and the Williams. He is not being helped by the fact that Davis has now DS, and Quincy has crashed it! What happened there? What happened there? There's a full safety car! That is such an odd spot to do it, and didn't get a car that was there. And now Bruce almost hit the wall. That was, I don't think that was because of his... I think it was being hit. I think he got hit. Oh my. Oh. Energetic is in the pit lane. I thought he was going down the order anyway. Energetic was the first one to benefit off of that. Together with Fellison and Rendork. What a crash. What a crash. And there's front wing damage repaired by Fellison. And there was a time penalty for Fellison, it seems. We have some time now. And Brams has retired as well. 10 seconds for speeding. And an earlier stop. And Brams has retired in the pit lane. Huge crash by Quincy, and that didn't seem to be self-inflicted, but we have to wait and see. And that was on lap for all of 5. And the other ones will be jumping into the pits, I assume now. And that is the case. GR1 is gonna be loving life right now. Made the soft work. I think Control is gonna be losing out big time now. Andrew is losing more. Double stack, and there's a front wing change. We've seen Energetic go to the hearts, Fellison off the hearts again. Vincenzo hearts, David hearts, Race Chase hearts, Moksha hearts as well. Don't think that's the best call. The reason is, if there's another safety car within a short amount of time, although, and that is obviously often said by Dave, as it was stayed out, which doesn't make any sense. If you are bringing out the safety car for the first time, usually a couple of ones follow through. But you have to say, like, there's a part of the race where it's too early to put the hard on, as there's a higher chance of you actually needing the hard if there's an immediately follow up. Because if there's another safety car now, all of these guys want to prioritize making their second mandatory stop instead of having the quote-unquote right tire on. Because now, if something happens between the restart, which will will be at the end of 7. Something between lap 8 and maybe 13. You want the hearts as a backup plan. If you didn't pack a second heart, which you can't do in combination. Oh, the safety is going already. Okay. So between lap 7 now and 13, you can't pack a second medium and a second hard anymore, unfortunately. You will be needing that hard then, as Andy is gonna be dictating the pace once again. He does that even without the safety car. So yeah, let's see. And you have to say, very odd camera, you have to say that the most opportunities come from fresher tires when they're used inside of the second stint. Restart has commenced. ADS, who didn't stop, is now fighting with control probably, and Moksha is in need of this help basically. Because if he can get away with GR1 before they catch up to ADS and overtake him. Let's see what control does. Inside line already for turn 8. And Moksha is prone doing damage. No, that's GR1. Moksha is in Alpine on Division 2, and I thought that was him. Uses all of his ERS to get by now. Puts it very early to non-ERS, but hey. He's in the 5 second. Can you record on LTPs? Would like to. I'm recording. Let me check if it's working. Yeah, it's working. You can leave. And Moksha spy on GR1, and control's gonna be following suit soon. Although the DRS, as mentioned before, is gonna be. Thanks, mate. See you tomorrow. Yeah, see you tomorrow. It's an opportunity for GR1 to make it around the outside. Certainly not with the damage you think, but the tire advantage is currently still going strong as DS has now been enabled. Oh. More than one. Didn't think that was gonna be happening. Could lobby crash. The whole lobby just crashed because he left. The whole lobby just it would complete. Oh. Oh no. Wait. It's undecided. Great one. Okay, I'm gonna give you a quick break and then let's see what happens. Be right back. after a short break and an interruption I didn't expect to be seeing tonight. When the lobby host leaves and the game goes completely off the rails and completely shuts down instead of just having and very disconnected and maybe desynced lobby. We are here again. And hope everyone remembers the setup. And Brahms has decided to play Football Manager. Which is fine, I guess. There is not in the background running. This happens to be on a second monitor of mine in the background. We are just a couple of moments away from restarting this race. Moksha obviously gonna be furious about how Felsen has jumped ahead. Again now, despite the opportunity that was presented. So I'm thinking you might be upset about that. Let's see. At least at a smoke break and can maybe try and focus again. Bring this one home as we are now delayed by quarter of an hour, I would suppose. So see what the second attempt brings. Also Control is hoping his front wing stays alive. And maybe more do attempt to start on a soft. Let's see. And here are the 5 red lights once again for the Miami Grand Prix. It's Control against the current world champion of Andy, who has claimed it in the last race into turn 1. And GR1 locks up, and he is closely followed again. And Energetic has fought himself into third. Moksha side by side with David down there as they head into what is turn 4, 5 and now 6. Double apex of 7. Oh, there's no track map. Give me a second. And now they're side by side racing with GR1 who's dropped down to 6 already. Opportunity for Fellerson to get away as he is now 2 cars between him and his teammate. Top 2 stay the same. And Andrew is trying to get by and shoves GR1 off the road into turn 11 and at the exit of 12. And that is something he is not going to be liking, as he has indeed opted for the medium tire, with other drivers basically staying on their selected tires from before. They didn't need to do that, as this is a restart. Andrew getting close there to what is Moksha and P6. And GR1 into the pit lane. And I think he's gonna be retiring that one. And he in fact does so. Didn't enjoy that, it seems. Whatever happened there. Maybe there was a collision we didn't see. It's now Jonathan who spun it at the exit of 3, and Quincy is fighting Krankjork as the top two are brawling it out now. There's no move for any of these guys. And Moksha needs to find the rhythm as Danger David goes off the track. Completely misses his marks. Kovachka, Vincenzo. Oh, and then Vincenzo goes around. The Italian hits. That was a very odd move. Oversteer at the exit. Krankjork cuts the corner, gets 10 seconds. And Vincenzo has lost the front ring right hand side end plate. As a result of that spin at the exit of 12. Oversteer. That resulted in him overcorrecting and then hitting the wall. And the top 7, 8. Top 8 are getting away. Feddersen is in need to outscore his very competitive teammate by at least 5 points. 4 they would be equal. And then Feddersen wouldn't win it because if Moksha then wins it and Feddersen DNFs, they are both on 2 wins. Moksha would be on more podiums, so it would actually go to Moksha if you want to have it decided like this. And Feddersen up into what is now P3 as he fights with Energetic, who's holding it around the outside for 11, needs to be given space on the inside of 12. And is now on the outside for 13, that is not going to be working. And Feddersen had a great run over there. As there is now Verdugo ahead of Vincenzo. Lost front wing. Isn't helping him. Let's see what else someone can line up here. And a bit deep control on the alternative line. Couldn't find a way past, and one of the primary overtaking opportunities was turn 1. And yes, it is a race, but you have to say that is the worst one you can get. Because then you have to get a slam dunk move and then drive away. And also the following is very annoying through the last 2 turns. Controller is closer than ever. And maybe the overall advantage of slipstreaming Andy. And DRS is gonna be enough. Andy locks it up. He goes deep. Is there an opportunity for Control to hang it around the outside? No. Inside line was close. Closer to the optimal racing line, which meant that there was less, or there were less meters that needed to be covered by the Mercedes. So Verdugo is still fighting. Oh, that was Verdugo, and he now has a 3-second time penalty. And there was Bruiser, and now and there's a bit of contact in the background. Energetic and Moksha, who's now by. There's also Andrew is trying to take the Dutch driver into turn 1, and I think he lost 3 positions in the space of 4 corners, basically. As he was passed by Energetic for by David for 4th, and is now down to 7th, but that is not so much of a problem, as these are all drivers on medium tires. And that means you can have an early undercut if you fancy it anyway. Is Control gonna make Andy fight for this one? I hope so. At least for this one. Previous winner on this track for... Oh, I don't know. Did we do Miami? I don't remember. For no stabilizers allowed, as Kovachka is by on Race Chase for an internal Sauber battle, but this one up the front is way more interesting and way more entertaining. Control on 90% of a recharge. in terms of his battery, and Andy is using all of his power there. Down to 20%. And it's not enough. The straight is too long. Let's see if he gets the braking right. He doesn't really, and he gets by again, and there's an opportunity for Fellison. Side by side for the last couple of corners. Who has the better top speed control? Is going for the offensive instead of defending for Fellison, and the offense may be working because Andy was maybe caught off guard. Inside curb is very tricky to accelerate, but the line is shorter. And now he has to flick it around the outside, which isn't gonna be happening because Andy cuts across here. Alternative opportunity maybe into turn 7 and 8. There's a bit of snaking and basically traffic jam as they apply the brakes for turn 7 and 8 going on. As the top 7 are now breaking away. Who has their ears managed more? And David is on the attack now, looking to pass Fellison and maybe more. Andy is being overtaken by Andrew. There's Fellison around the outside. They go free right into turn 12. Absolutely crazy move by Fellison. Puts him ahead, and there's no control down to second with Andy third. It's an opportunity for David into turn 13. He's on the inside. Red Bull against the Mercedes. Can't do it. And Andy has kept it ahead, but has lost 2 positions into the world. Just 2 turns. And now Moksha is really in a critical phase of this race. He needs to get by on these guys, because Fellison might be running away with this. I don't think he has the overall pace advantage, but you don't want to give your biggest opponent such a good air in terms of no dirty air in front of him. And there's a pit stop by David now. Undercut attempt here. Wow, what a move. This is a crucial phase now for David. And Andrew has dropped back. Moksha is losing because Andrew is dropping back from Andy. Did he get the S in time? That is gonna be crucial now. Did he get the S? He didn't. That's good for Moksha. Moksha needs to pass him now. And then get back to what is now P3 with Andy. And he's close to that. Ow. To the DS zone. And is about to lose his to the guy in front. Moksha didn't get it. No. That was the most... the 3 or 4 most important corners of his of this season. But he has still control, and Andy and if Fellison doesn't pit now, he doesn't. Moksha needs to pit. Moksha, you need to pit, and he does so. Don't speed. Don't speed. I just want this to go to the next race. I'm not biased towards Moksha, although I'm German. Fellison under pressure from control. There was maybe small opportunity now. Let's see. He's following him through. There's David. David. 9th. 8th now. He went for the soft actually. And Moksha's to the hards. I don't get this. And a 2-stop. I don't know if I... No, I don't think I used the hards in Saudi. If you... don't see the advantage of having the slowest car, the slowest tire on for the middle stint. The undercut David did not complete. Can still be kind of crucial now. Because he's getting by on Moksha with ease. He can push away here maybe. Tire warm-up won't be in the favor of Moksha here anyway, and he is... The good thing is he had attempted to cover. Now Fellison needs to go in, yeah. And the tire choice he cannot see. Moksha's too far away from these guys. Andy stayed out, Andrew stayed out, Energetic also followed. And Hearts for Fellison as well. So this is a direct comparison to Moksha, who is gonna be using that ES and that DRS to stay with David. And is not ahead. Clearly not ahead. The undercut didn't even work for David, and he had the fresher soft tire on. He's not even within the DS zone. What the fuck? Sorry, what the frick? But it's currently only 2 positions. Control is still following. Still following through with another idea. What happened to Andy? No DS! Crucial moment in the race. Andy has no DS on the spec straight. This costs him probably 4/10 on this straight alone. Let's look at the gaps. Feddersen is in this. David is in this. Moksha is in this. I think you need 21 seconds. Oh, did they cut the line? No, they didn't. Okay. Andrew, you don't stay out. Don't stay out. Onto the start finish straight. We go with Fellison. Easy ahead, and he is clearly ahead. That worked for them. Staying out the extra lap. Well, Control is ahead. Did Andy change wing? Did Andy change his wing? What happened there? No, there was no front wing change. And he's to the medium tires. He extended to be on the mediums now. Fast lap is currently with Fellison. 3 seconds to drivers who are not in the fight for the top spot. So Fellison jumped Control, but Andy was jumped by Moksha and David. And these two are on completely different tire strategies. Moksha has lost David. Oh my word, Moksha is going so wrong for you. I don't think you I don't know why the undercut didn't work. I don't know if the soft tire was the right choice, but you had to do something different and choose the mediums maybe. I don't know, hard to judge. Yes, still some drivers who he should let Andy by fast and then just try to stay with him. That is a pit stop for Kovachka and Andrew now, who waited way too long. He was in this fight. And will be passed by Energetic and ADS now. Who both stopped already. That is... No, he's right in front of Energetic. How is this working? How is this overcut working so good here? What? What is this, Malarkey? Oh, he's... Nah, well... Well, he didn't stay with the group, so... I don't give him... I don't want that cam. Moksha has been passed by Andy, and he needs to be finding the rhythm to stay with him for at least 4/10 of a second now, so that Andy can close down the gap to the DS, and then he can use the extra battery to follow him through inside of the DRS zone. Yeah, inside of the zones where there's no DRS, so mostly sector 1. Person's not gonna be lunging it down the inside, as Andrew is retaking 6 off of Energetic, and Elias is not there to make that work as well. And there's a yellow flag for Rendog, who has hit the wall off turn in turn 12, as Andy posts the new faster lap of the race. He's still not within the DRS of these top 3. And any outside of the top 3 is a very odd thing to see inside of the season. Has happened twice, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That is the wrong one. I wanted this one. Top 3 haven't changed. Moksha's still with. So Andy was outside the top 3 for 2 races. That was Monza and Australia. Still not done with half of the race distance of this race, as we had to restart this one. Let's look at ERS charges. David is on only 14.20 for Andy. And obviously Moksha's going to be using that now. Moksha is in critical need of avoiding getting cold feet, despite the gap currently between Fallison and him. In terms of positions, not in terms of time. And there's a brief yellow for Silbo who might have gotten out of the way. This energetic has dropped back. No, that was energetic. That wasn't Silbo. I'm sorry. That might be an extra stop. There will be an early stop to the hards. 4 laps only. And the front wing change as well. I really wanted to see him on the podium. That's not going to be happening. Down to what is now P12. And Bruiser with another 3-second time penalty. Let's look at gained positions. Only Andy with 3 down. And Energetic with now the biggest losses for 8 positions down. Obviously GR1 16 down, so everyone basically gained a 3-1 as David is incredibly loose over that curve. I have to say the curbs aren't as high as what we have in the game right now, and it doesn't seem to be as tight of a turn as well. It's just a very fast left-right flick with the wall on the inside line being way closer. But this track is going to be lighter skinned or lighter for the next game, so I'm interested to see what is happening there. And now Moksha is also attacking David. And he is by, and that is very crucial at this stage of the race. And now he needs to get within the second of Andrew, and he only has Andy, sorry, not Andrew. Only has a couple of percentages of ERS. Yeah, so everyone gained positions apart from Andy inside the top, and only Energetic with the second mandatory stop already done. Or is that? Yeah, maybe that's ADS now in a second. Yeah, that's the hard. Doesn't update it, but that's fine. Moksha's inside the DRS. Fallison maybe to the lead now on control. And Bruiser, my guy, you need to get out of the way fast. And Fallison leads now. And that is already... And he has the fastest lap now. That is already a gap that is big enough. Reminder of tires. Control and Andy still need to be going to another tire that isn't the medium. And David can select hards or soft or mediums, or soft if he wants to. But he's currently dropping back by a bit. So yeah, and he will be pulling the trigger first, but I assume he's trying to extend it towards the time where he is able to use the mediums, because you don't want to be in the hards. And 3 seconds for Energetic for all his troubles as well. And he has dropped back again. That's not helping Moksha. Moksha has the opportunity to jump into the pits and basically have Fallison guess what he's going to do in terms of tires, but at this stage it's only the mediums anyway. Oh, and we see ADS moving by on Vincenzo for what is P10. And Control might be getting this position back. It's a good position, but he hasn't used his tires to gain an advantage. And he started also in the medium tire, so Fallison will be having an advantage later, takes the extra long route around the outside. And the Hungarian pair at the front swaps position as now this group of cars for what is P4 is now approaching this part of the racetrack as well, and control is being overtaken as an immediate answer again by Pallison, and that is in fact Saibu we just saw appear in our picture, who's gonna be the second car to be lapped. Didn't realize Crankyog DNF'd. Just 3 seconds! That's not good. That's an extra position for Vincenzo. Who's fighting that back on the back straight. I don't know, how do the Sauber drivers manage to stay so close to each other? Kovachka stopped in lap later. And now Control has been overtaken by Feddersen. Didn't realize that swapped again. Moksha to the outside of Andy. Oh, that line wasn't very ideal. And Andy is still on a low battery. And that is now costing them. And David needs to go in. His tires have gone off. And that soft isn't working at all. So it's probably medium hard anyway. In any order you like. Has to be two stops. But yeah, there is now the time where David needs to be coming in or is losing. He's currently dropping out of the undercut window himself by only driving. And he is doing that. 12 laps to go, that is a sensible amount. And I'm wondering if now with a couple of laps to go, you actually can go to the soft. When the car is way lighter. Is Control now trying to push away from Fellison? Doesn't seem like it. Yep. For hards now. Not even a medium. That's very interesting. We stay with Moksha, who's now passing Andy. And that is a very crucial third place for the Williams driver. 22 points behind if Moksha is outscored by Fellison by more than 5 points, as there's a yellow flag for Rendork. Moksha gets it all wrong over the curb as he slides sideways. And David is currently not completely inside of the undercut window, and there's now Saibu into the wall for a brief moment. Being lapped again, Andy on Moksha. Barely any ERS here. None of these are jumping the gun. Andy is responding. Stayed out the longest to answer it immediately back. So maybe he has seen something. He doesn't want to be seen, but I don't think that's gonna be... That is also hard. Okay, I guess. David is coming onto the main straight. And he is gonna be side by side with Andy. And he has the inside line, but no tire temps in his tires. But Andy stays ahead for the moment. The undercut is not working at all, it seems. Not working at all. 22 seconds. These drivers just need to extend. Moksha is roughly 2 seconds behind them now, because he doesn't have any DRS on the straight. So maybe there's an opportunity for Moksha. What is he doing over these curves at the moment? Maybe there's an opportunity for Moksha as David passes Andy immediately back. For Moksha to get an overcut by 2 seconds if he stays out. But that's very risky. I don't think 2 seconds is possible. And Control has to respond, I feel like. He cuts the line though. Don't think that's allowed. And there's yellow flag for Quincy. I don't know why. There was Bruiser in this as well. Don't know if he locked up, if he was held up by the left car. Control is out. And there's David. There's another kerfuffle. And there's a safety car for that! Oh no! Oh no fucking way! And now both Williamses are so close together! Bruiser and I think that was ADS had a collision. And there was immediately the call for a safety car. And there's no front wing left on the... Oh my words. Oh my words. Fellas, Moksha, you need to slow down so you don't get held up. But if you do, you're getting out behind these guys. Oh my god, this is so unfortunate for him. So, Control pits. Then Bruiser, who was left, versus ADS. And then SC. Oh my word. Okay, Fallison has the prime drive for penalty for Jonathan. There's a prime opportunity for Fallison to win this one now. That was over the line once again. You can see that by how he was driving there. Okay, Moksha didn't wait so long. So 4.6 seconds. And Andrew's coming. Yeah, Control can't be going in again, I suppose. Shouldn't be doing that. Moksha was held up a bit. Let's see. Down the order to Control. Andrew for softs, and he's still out. David is in again. So David is in again. So that's pit stop for Moksha. Actually, Fallison first. Moksha. Obviously Andrew. And David again. But he went for that medium. Oh my word. There's one car between Control and Moksha. Sorry. I'm stupid. There's no car between obviously Control and Moksha. There's one car between both of the Williamses. So you really need to think about this one now. Moksha tire advantage over Andy, not over Andrew. But he needs to get by on Control and then pass Fallison while Moksha has backup by Control maybe. So the best let me give you this, okay? It's 5 points, which are currently scored by Fallison. 5 points more than Moksha. So you have to think about this. First opportunity for this, or first scenario for this to go to Silverstone. Moksha needs to win now. Control needs to be second. Andrew maybe to third. Fallison fourth. Second best is Fallison third, while Moksha wins and Control is second. Third best opportunity is Control wins it. Moksha third. Fallison third or fourth, depends, like one of these options. And the one that needs to be happening at minimum for Moksha is Fallison doesn't win it while he's second. So Control either needs to win it, Fallison second, himself third. And he doesn't need Andrew from behind or David, so yeah. If Fallison needs to be second at minimum here, because if he wins it, it's over. But the field is spread quite. The field spread is quite high. Let's see what the in-game race director decides. Let's check with the other drivers. Kovachka race chase went to mediums as well. Vincenzo has an opportunity maybe to get by on these two. Also benefit from Kovachka's penalty. Energetic has a penalty, but has the pace to get by on more people. Quincy doesn't have a penalty, can benefit from these guys in front. ADS penalty is 17 seconds behind. Verdugo teammate, don't think there's happening anything. Is the safety car coming in? No, we are seeing another lap. So we are actually think Rendog maybe he can get back to this. He's pushing and he has no. He's just on the brink of the fuel limit. Is anyone else on low fuel? No, that is the only driver. And he needed that safety car. Let's recheck. Positions now. Controllers stayed the same. Bob Williams is up by 4, as well as Kovachka. Quincy up by 8. David has stayed the same. And he is on 3 stops as well as energetic. And now Jonathan goes out of the way into turn 1. So people can, or he's basically completely lapped and is not inside. He has a driver penalty as well. That's certainly good. So yeah, I see a good opportunity for Andrew. You can really mix this up. There are some drivers, especially with Andy in control, who are not going to be liking these hards on a restart, and the medium is going to be lasting long enough, especially with these conserving of the tires under the current safety car conditions. So yeah, the softs are gonna be a bit used because obviously you rub away the good part under the safety car. So yeah, the mediums are actually gonna be the best tires here now, not in terms of warm up, but Andrew has maybe like 4 laps to get himself into the good position. After that, he has probably used his tires too much to keep that advantage. Is Rendok gonna make it? I don't think so. The line is here now. And the safety car is still not in. Now it's in. And we are back to racing conditions in a couple of moments time as we listen in with the Mercedes engine inside of the back of the Williams. And really? Rendok has spun it. Pushed it too hard. Ferguson, if he wins this, he is second confirmed. And he is going to be restarting this race with a final sprint. Pull the trigger now. There's an immediate opportunity for Moksha maybe. As they head into turn 1. Is he going for that dive? He is not. The S will be enabled at the end of this lap. And Andrew is at the back of Andy. And Moksha, control completely lost out there at the restart. So that is not good. Not good at all. And Fellison is pushing like crazy, but control isn't. And there's the 1 second gap. He needs to be doing this on his own now. That's gonna be a tough task. Moksha to the inside, isn't committed enough to go by on control. Even at the pace advantage. And there's a collision at the back. Trace chase and energetic into turn 11. And now Quincy and Vincenzo up the order. Both of the Ferraris not having any penalties. Moksha, you need to get by now or it's over. Control is holding you up. Oh, wow, that's very late from Andrew. And Vincenzo's off. Yeah, I think Vincenzo locked the tires. Ferguson with the fastest lap. Needs to be beaten as well now by anyone. And Moksha has 1.7 seconds to find to prevent his teammate from taking second away. Fortunately, he had a rougher stint inside of the season. That meant he was not really aiming for what is now free position 2. Moksha was on the podium for the first 6 races. Then a horrible race with a bad strategy if I've ever seen one in Monza. No score in China. And a poor result in Japan. That's his only 3 races where he scored less than double digits. While Ferguson didn't score in Austria in the first race of the season, but won 2 compared to Moksha's 1 race win. And apart from the Netherlands, has been in the 2nd position for the last 4 races prior to that. It's really crunch time, and you can see that EAS is very close between all of them. Is Andrew gonna be into that top 3 position? Control is fighting that way too much, bro. You have a time penalty. Let your teammate by. You're just hurting yourself, man. Oh my word. Don't fight your teammate if he's on soft tires. What are you, Ferrari? Oh my word. That is so embarrassing. David is close to this as well. Time penalties. Andy has also a time penalty. I didn't see that. When did that happen? Don't tell me the second I tapped out for once. Moksha is closer. He needs to be finding a 10th inside of this next couple of corners. Quincy goes by for what is now 8th position. Control is fighting David. Is he having a lunge up the inside? No, and Moksha did get the ass. He lost 6/10. The chicane is the worst part for him, and he needed to be his best on this lap. Yeah, the ES disadvantage is coming in very hot for him. And Andrew's gonna be looking for that 2nd position. Andrew has time to take 2nd, but I don't think he has time to take 1st. Because these tires have gone past their best point already with the safety car laps. Especially since it was 1 lap longer than the usual amount of safety car laps you get. I think personally the medium is in the right spot. Or is the right tire at this stage. And Ferguson is making good work of it. I really want to check for warnings, but I don't want to at the same time to not miss any actions. Maybe there's another incident with Vincenzo at the back. Even EAS for Ferguson and Moksha. There needs to be 1 lap where he finally pushes completely into it. Like, don't think about how much the guy in front of you has. He pushed himself earlier on in his race. This sector needs to be clinical now. That wasn't too bad. Oh, that curb is too much. And that curb was too much again. Moksha is not enjoying that freaking chicane. As there's now a 4-way battle forming for currently the podium position, with David benefiting from all of these time penalties, but he won't be jumping into 3rd. And Moksha's in it. Moksha can take away the win from Ferguson. This is gonna be spicy. Just like McLaren's could have been bolted out in the last couple of laps yesterday, but Oscar's advantage was just too big after Lando was too indecisive to pass Max again. And as a true champion that Oscar is certainly at the moment, he made that pass stick very early on, and control is down to 6. And there's a shoving along by the Red Bull driver, and now Fallison is under pressure from Moksha. 2.5 more laps to go. Moksha needs to be thinking about saving his ERS because Fallison can't do it. Just stay behind and make that one pass. Andrew, defensive. No, that's control. Took control against David on the outside. Oh, got it all wrong when turning in for turn 12. Quincy will be jumping the order. At least for 8th position. More recharge. And chance of 3 seconds now. Had collision earlier on, just a couple of laps ago. And control to the inside of David as he locked up. David is on barely any ERS now. 2 more laps to go. This Williams fight is going down the wire, and we still have one more race to go. Double the ERS advantage. Pick your lap, your racing line, and you make it by. I don't know what Featherston's plan is right now at the moment, but if Moksha passes him now, he needs to be sure he can get away and let him recharge. He seems to be on the attack now. Does he go for the inside line of turn 11? There needs to be space given, and Moksha takes the lead. But Fellison is hanging around the outside. The Williams boys are going at it. But there was a better line for Moksha. I really want to know what is going through their heads right now. Certainly a high intensive moment. Moksha played the ball he wanted, or he is now in the position to be the hunted. He needs to be sure that's the right call, because if Fellison passes him, this thing is over. And he should be thinking about either pushing it now completely, which I don't think is the right call, or just slowing down enough for Fellison to not make it. As David and Andrew fight it out for what is now P3 for David. Have the soft tires gone off from Andrew? I have no idea. Unless need to stop fighting because Andy is gonna inherit that position. But our attention turns to this one now. And Moksha, I don't think played the right card. 8 10s. That isn't too bad. But the DRS advantage on this racetrack is so huge. Alone on this straight, on this main straight, you get like 4 tenths worth of lap time back. Fellison, you don't want to make this pass now, and he doesn't. He's not lining it up. What was Moksha thinking when passing him the lap before? I know you seem to be getting faster, but just don't turn on the DRS. Just stay behind and wait for it, because Fellison is gonna repass you now. All of your ERS is gonna be for nothing. You have 70%, but he has an top speed advantage like no one is having on this racetrack. Has Moksha done enough? He defends to the inside. There's the dunge from Fellison. Can he stick it around the outside? Moksha, that is. And the line doesn't open up for him on the outside. Is there enough ERS for Moksha? Can he go around the outside? He can't. And there's a straight line. There's a straight line finish at the end for these two, as David takes away an unbelievable 3rd place with Andrew 4th. And Andy only in 5th position, his worst result of the season equalized. And there is Kovačka in front of ADS with Energetic and Quincy. I wanted to say photo finish, a straight photo finish, but it didn't come out of my mouth. Sorry, I butchered that. Verdugo 12 with huge points again. Vincenzo 13th, and the rest is already lapped. Oh my word. What was that? Why, Moksha? Why? Why? Well, Anderson is... Did he keep the fastest lap? He did as well. Huge fight from the Williamses. From the Williams. David third. Interesting. Is he racing tomorrow as well? Quincy gets the drive of the day. To see if David is racing tomorrow. Yeah, he is racing as well. There's the podium celebration as second place is confirmed by Fellerson's third win of the season. You have seen an incredible wheel-to-wheel fight for the team that has bested the opposition. And you have to say the Atma team, including two of these guys, both of the Williams actually, and myself, and a couple of guys more, didn't think that this combination was going to be so dominant, but here we are. And yeah, Fellerson also takes the fastest lap of the race, which obviously puts him now clear of Moksha, and there's nothing he can fight for at the end. David, then Andrew, good chance there, but missed it with the soft tires. That wasn't the right call. Andy is down to 5th with the time penalty as well. Control Kovachka, ADS. Race Chase, one of the only drivers who didn't move. Energetic 10th. Quincy, then Verdugo. Made himself start 19th on the grid. Verdugo 12th. Then Vincenzo, Rendog, Jonathan, Ibo, and then we had 2 retirees. That was certainly something. And now we are awaiting the arrival of our podium sitters, and I have to say, I don't want to do this right now. Can we not do this? Thank you. See what they have to say. Eventful Grand Prix, I have to say, from start to finish. And I'm gonna give you this one back. Moksha, David. Drivers are coming into decision now. And then we are gonna be finding out how they enjoyed or didn't enjoy this one. Let's see. Okay, David can't make it, then it's only the two of you. Okay. Yeah, obviously that was the deciding one in terms of the internal Williams Championship as we come to our winner for tonight, and that is Fellerson in the Williams. Yeah, Fellerson, you needed, in fact, 4 points to make it quite impossible for Moksha to achieve it, but 5 or more sealed the deal, and you did that in style with a win and also with the fastest lap at the end, but you had to fight for it, and even that position change at the end, if Moksha got by you, would have meant it would go to Silverstone, despite you kind of needing to DNF in the next race as well. But obviously that win is yours. You take the third of the season for Division 1 as we are close to round out the season. How did you enjoy this one, and how was the race out there for you today?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, GG's to Moksha. We're gonna have to review the last corner because we don't see it the same way. But yeah, the race was amazing. I felt like I had pace. I got a bit lucky, I think, with I think Andy maybe had a little incident somewhere. So he's fallen back a little bit. Yeah, in the end, I thought it was going to be an easy. I just have to drive through the finish line, but Moksha was there to make it really difficult for me. But I wanted to sort this out today, so I can just have fun in the last race.
Yeah, I don't think there were any other drivers apart from you who didn't have an incident. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting to review if any one of these guys behind think there is something to get from the podium that is now currently inherited by David in third. But yeah, obviously a very interesting part on this track is that the soft isn't really an option, so you really have to work yourself around when to put on what tire in terms of the advantage you want to have at the end, maybe. So obviously, you too, despite them, yeah, probably Moksha being held up in the pits, you benefited from that safety that came out after a collision with your lap car. So obviously, at that stage, you were in the hards. You were going to the medium tire that was very beneficial at the end, and obviously helped you get away from control, who was kind of the only buffer remaining. I think even before you got the penalty. So what was the yeah, the thought process after also the restart, because you kind of seem to be getting also a bit of data from the other guys who were mainly picking mediums for the start with only GR1 opting for the soft there, and yeah, that kind of worked obviously for the most of you, but then overcuts seemed to be also the strong point here. David couldn't undercut, Andy was coming into laps later. So what kind of information had you gathered until the point where the safety car came out late into the race?
Um, Not much. Basically, I was just about to cover whoever pits behind me. So I was gonna pit anyway on the lap when the safety car came out. I'm not sure if Control would have gone in front of me or he would have been really close if the safety car didn't come out. But I'm pretty sure he was on the hards and I was on the mediums. And I felt like even if I can just keep the gap about around 1 second, um, to either get him to help or to just keep him out of the DRS, that was the plan going forwards. But yeah, the safety car came in really, really good time for me for once.
Certainly, yeah. You mentioned the last lap, the last, basically the last corner, but the last overtaking opportunity for you there. I have to say the camera wasn't really good, so I couldn't really see what happened before you turned in for the apex. So, yeah, tell me from your perspective, what happened there as you tried to take the lead away from Moksha into turn 17.
Should I answer this like a actual F1 driver, or I'm gonna have to look at the data first and then
No,
I
just
can,
give
I
me your
can actually
straight
say
up
something?
opinion and
I think, I
say
think,
out loud if
I
Moksha
think
is a dirty driver or if you are a dirty driver. I just want clear
I
facts,
don't
no
think any
bullshit.
of us are dirty drivers. We're going into this saying to each other that it's gonna. Well, I was saying to him that it's gonna be hard because he said the gloves are coming off. The last time he was on the podium, so the gloves came off. I think I stopped the car at the apex. So I don't think it was like an illegal dive. But then again, I think he turned in there. And then from his point of view, I think I didn't leave him space on the outside, but I don't really know because at the heat of the moment, everything feels like it's the other one's fault. So I'd rather not say anything really bad before I have to look at it.
Yeah, let's hear what he has to say in a moment. Obviously, another win in your bag, and yeah, as the season is now coming to an end, what is your aim for the Silverstone Grand Prix as we head out? Do you want another pole position? Maybe you seem to be getting on with your PC now, with your equipment, and yeah, there's obviously a full qualifying session where you can maybe experiment, maybe do something funny, start from the back. What is on your mind right now if it stays like this
I
and you keep second place?
I was thinking if I manage to secure P2 today, next week I will try to race from cockpit in VR. So I'm definitely not going to be anywhere near the front, but I will try to have fun and try not to kill people.
That's interesting. I can also
Yeah,
recommend No OSD. That was fun in Netherlands season one.
I think once you're in VR, there is nothing anyway.
Oh yeah, true, might be. I've
You
seen
don't really
other
see
things
much.
before, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe the MFD. Yeah, but
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah.
okay. Okay, thank you, and obviously congrats again on your win, and see you tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, thank you very much. See ya.
Bye. Okay, coming on to the second Williams driver that is obviously going to be stating his opinion on the last lap incident as well. Let's start off with this one, Moksha. We just heard what Ferguson has said about this, and obviously I can imagine you guys are obviously in each other DMs already. Let's get your point of view from this. Seemed like you made that move one lap early. Obviously, I think based on the sector times you did at the start of the last lap, you wanted to get away, not give him the opportunity to have DS on the main straight before even heading to the back straight. What was this moment from your perspective? Walk me through it.
Yeah, first of all, GG's to him. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. As he told, I need to review that. It was a fast moment, but yeah, I felt the dive was little bit deep, so I needed to avoid it. Just to go a bit wider than I usually would have, and then yeah, I didn't get the exit out of that really good, and then he covered the inside, so I needed to go the long way, but there wasn't enough track left to overtake him. But yeah, I mean, I'm overall happy with a Williams P1 P2 again. I think that's the constructor safe for this season. And yeah, it was hard, but it was fair. I wouldn't even now, which without watching it back, I wouldn't make a report or something like that. It was hard, but yeah, nothing too bad.
Yeah, obviously the final moment going into this, you caught up back to him again after passing control one lap earlier. Maybe would have been also very important for you. You seem to be having these resources in terms of your driving and the pace to maybe get by. What was your initial idea? Do you just wanted to be the hunter? Do you feel like you could extract more if you pushed for the final time as you kind of tried in the sector one, but the DS is so strong, almost 4 tenths for both of these DRS zones. So what was the initial idea when you were instead of his DRS obviously charge up, but then where was the right lap maybe for you? Did you feel like when you were too close you needed to make the move, or what was your initial battle plan going into the last 2 laps?
Yeah, it was kind of like this. I was catching up a little bit too quick then. I wanted to have a little bit more of a gap in the last lap and overtake him there, but yeah, I just felt it was the right moment, and I was hoping for my straight line speed. I felt I was a little bit quicker as him on the straight, so yeah, I tried it. I was also in a yeah, I was in a good position in front, I think. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, looking obviously overall for the race, this was very close for the top seven, I have to say, and maybe also qualifying could have made a difference here today. How do you think, or how do you reflect on your qualifying performance? Didn't seem like you were there. He was maybe 4 tenths away if you only look at Ferguson compared to that for tonight. What was your feeling after qualifying? Seemed like a big mountain to climb when all of these guys, especially with Andy David, and control are around you. So how was qualifying at the end for you?
I mean, it's always the same story. I mess up the last lap, starting from further back than I want to, but I think the race pace is always there, so I can make up these places. Yeah, like always. I mean, there are rarely races where I can't make up these places from a bad qualifying, and yeah, so I didn't count too much on the quali, to be honest.
One moment I wanted to pick your brain on was when the safety car came out. Obviously, kind of the tire strategy was there and thereabout. You were probably going to be on the mediums because you opted for that hard, earlier on. When the safety car came out, you were roughly 5 seconds back or 4.5 from Fellison. The guys pitted already, but the data was obviously there. Did you try to open the gap to Feddersen a bit under the delta, or did you just wanted to go in as fast as possible because every position backwards or every position lost meant obviously you needed to fight more cars inside of these last couple of laps? So you were between a rock and a hard place. How did you find that at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go in this lap anyways, so I just tried to stay as close as possible. I mean, the gap in general was to Fellison that far that I can have a second pit stop behind him without much delays. I think 1 or 2 tenths I lost there, but nothing too much.
Okay, and obviously now, even if this goes your way and the order is reversed, what is your kind of final target or maybe plan to do into the final race? Obviously, championship might or might not be done for P2, but if it's done, what is currently at the moment, what do you plan to do? Do you want to go all out again, maybe fight even harder than you did today? Or is Silverstone just not a track that you maybe enjoy that much and just gonna go out and have fun just like you maybe would if at the end of a season like this?
I mean, I enjoy it really much, but I'm not really fast there, so I just try to make what I did the whole season, get the best points possible, maybe get another win for the season, just to just to have a hard battle on track and have a fun last race of the long season.
Okay, yeah, hopefully you are gonna be enjoying this next one as well, and speak to you hopefully tomorrow as well. Have a good one.
Yeah. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Yeah. Obviously, we are missing David, so let's get Quincy, the Ferrari driver, in as well. Quincy, that was maybe a tougher one, especially after the restart. We had to do a bit of a improvised second attempt here tonight, and with the game coming to its end, yeah, you kind of expect it, but don't expect it at the same time. You made yourself, I think, starting from 19th, came up into good, strong position. Only maybe a last lap or a couple of laps penalty hindered your final result. How satisfied are you with your 11th place for tonight?
I think it's deserved. I think I'm very sorry to everybody. Obviously, some people got screwed with the second lobby or the restarts and whatnot. So apologies for that, everybody. I think pace here has not been good with the setup I decided to use. Didn't particularly put any practice laps in, so in the qualifying I just put 15 laps of fuel in and just kept lapping to find my braking markers, etc. Had a good start on the first lobby, but lost it into turn 17 and just the slightest touch took my wheel off. So that's the reason I wanted to just get off the PC because I was so frustrated. I didn't know that it would do what it did and sort
Me
of killed
neither.
the lobby. So I really apologize for that. Second race was going very well. Felt good, but again, pace from the setup just lacked. Like it had like no straight line speed. I was under the impression people would be running, same amount of wings as me. I think I was running like 20, 25 on the rear, and it still wasn't enough. People were just pulling away on the straight, and I'm burning all of my ERS. So
Yeah, you have
something to
like
look
the
out for tomorrow.
fifth worst top speed from what I can see inside of the
Oh
data.
wow.
So
And I felt like I was running as low as I could go on the wings without having tremendous oversteer from the low corners. I felt it was very balanced, but yeah, so definitely something to look at for tomorrow because the straight line is just terrible, completely terrible.
yeah, I can see Fellison was on 343 compared to your 329. I don't know how much DRS you
Oh,
had
wow.
throughout that race, but that is certainly a sizable gap. Anyway, we are obviously looking towards another race for tomorrow for Miami, but next question is going to be about your home race at the finale. I'm probably guessing that you want to be not only secure in P4 in the Drivers' Championship, as now some people have closed up on you. Kovachka, for example, finished ahead at a better race. And obviously, some of your personal targets have always been Q3 appearances on these full qualifyings. How confident are you as of right now? Maybe have raced this track already. Yeah, probably in the last 11 months, that would have been an opportunity to do so. What is your current feel for this track, and how much do you look forward to maybe redeem yourself also for tomorrow in Division 2, despite it may be tougher to race, as you've alluded yourself inside of the season?
Uh, Division 2 has always been tough for me, so I don't expect great results from that race. But as for Division 1 next week, I like Silverstone. I've done quite a few many laps on this track as well, including a couple of 100% races. So I've got a good feel for the setup, and a good feel for qualifying as well. So I should be in Q3 for definite. I feel like I've got some pace there, so I will do everything within my power to retain that P4. I've got 110 points after this race. Race Chase and Andrew are both on 101. So those two guys are basically who I'm going to be aiming to be in front of in that race. It's going to be tough because they're faster than me, but I think that hopefully, if luck's on my side, I can do it. But that's the aim.
Okay, looking forward to what you can produce in Silverstone, and obviously wishing you the best of luck for tomorrow. And yeah, thank you very much for your insights. Goodbye.
Thank you for casting.
No problem. That has been it for tonight's Miami Grand Prix. We are heading for this racetrack once again for tomorrow night on G-Dave 11's Twitch channel, and that is going to be on the SSRL YouTube as well as the VOD. If you just tuned in, you missed this one. I'm not going to spoil who won, but you can watch this back in a couple of hours already on the YouTube. So make sure you leave a subscription there and ring the bell to be notified when more of these races come along. Leave the channel a follow if you want to see the finale of the final season under F1 24 and the full qualifying session in Silverstone as we round out this for SSRL history or comparison sakes long season. I think the longest we had so far. Yeah, should be the longest. And yeah, looking forward to what these drivers can produce in the land of the motorsport, and let's see what they have in store for tomorrow night, as well as I will be jumping to the co-commentators role next to Dave as usual. Hope you enjoyed this one. Sorry it went a bit longer. Quincy has alluded to what happened there, and we've also seen it. Horse migration is not fun. Please, I'm begging that someone takes over with service. But anyway, we just have to hope that in 4 weeks we get a game that doesn't have these issues come 12 months. So let's all pray together that is going to be working. One more race to go inside of this 5th season. Andy has clinched both of the titles, so let's see what fun we can expect from next week. And maybe there's some rain, as it's usual for Silverstone or the British Islands to have rain. My name has been Ermin the German. Hope you enjoyed this one. Have a great rest of your day. Good night. See you.